Tomorrow is the most productive day of the week. Everything happens tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will start. Tomorrow, I will reply. Tomorrow, I will organize my life. Tomorrow, I'll take care of myself. Sometimes, quietly, we even imagine if only there were 25 hours in a day, or maybe 30. Tomorrow feels safe. It feels forgiving. It feels like a promise we do not have to keep yet. Procrastination is the art of keeping up with tomorrow. That endless day that always seems just out of reach. We all do this. The email you keep postponing, the dishes in the sink that simply multiply overnight. The I'll call my friend tomorrow that becomes next week. If you are a student, a professional, a creative, a parent, or honestly just a human trying to keep up, this episode is for you. Procrastination does not belong to one group, my dear gentle listeners. It belongs to all of us. And today, I'm not here to fix you. I'm here to understand us. We all are in it together. We have been taught to believe procrastination means laziness. But most of the times, it's not. It's exhaustion, it's overload, it's decision fatigue, it's uncertainty. Sometimes we do not delay because we do not care, but because we are mentally full. We confuse inspiration with transformation. Inspiration is a spark, but transformation is a system. Just pause and reflect. Are you lazy or are you tired? What is draining you before you even begin? We all know this, that tiny task you just need 5 minutes for, but it sits there for days. That workout you promise yourself, but the couch wins. That habit tracker staring blankly at you every morning. Yes, that's all of us. Sometimes we avoid things because they matter too much. Starting your digital space, creating your art, pursuing your career seriously, these are not small tasks. They carry identity, and sometimes it is easier to postpone a dream than to risk discovering our limits. We wait for clarity, we wait for confidence, we wait for the perfect moment. But uncertainty does not disappear with time. It disappears with movement. You do not defeat procrastination once, you interrupt it repeatedly. And now, I will share the promise I made with myself. There was a time when the world stopped. During COVID, everything slowed down. The noise softened. The expectations reduced. And I sat with myself for the first time in a long time. I made a promise. No matter what happens, I must learn to push the day. Not to master it, just push it. Push a moment, push an hour, push something forward. I told myself, even if I do not become a new person overnight, I will move something every day. But here's the honest part. I was not perfectly consistent. There were weekends when I was binge watching Netflix, whole seasons, late nights, lazy mornings, focused, then distracted, disciplined, then indulgent. For a while, I thought I failed. But now I see it differently. Rest is not the enemy. Escape becomes the enemy only when it replaces direction. You cannot break procrastination in a few motivated days. It is not a switch, it is a pattern. And patterns do not disappear with motivation, they disappear with structure. It's been 6 years since lockdown. 6 years. A few days became months. Months became years. That's the quiet danger of tomorrow. Tomorrow stretches, and here's the uncomfortable truth. The focused version of me during lockdown was living in simplified conditions. It is easy to feel productive in isolation. It is harder to stay consistent when life resumes. When real life returned, so did complexity. And that's when I understood. I do not need a new personality, I need a repeatable structure. I think willpower is overrated. We need to build systems. We are trained to think, if I try harder, I will stop procrastinating. But trying harder is exhausting. Systems are kinder. A system can be 20 protected minutes every Sunday, writing tasks down instead of carrying them mentally, breaking work into tiny beginnings, allowing imperfect progress. Discipline is not a mood, it is a calendar decision. A paused hour is stronger than a perfect plan. You do not win against procrastination with intensity, you win by returning. Return after distraction, return after Netflix, return after doubt. Because discipline is not the absence of distraction, it is the decision to return. Now, let's talk about using technology as a support system. Not to rush you or to pressurize you. It can use to remind you, organize you, reduce mental clutter. A reminder is not weakness, it is support. A calendar is not control, it is clarity. Technology cannot give us more hours, but it can protect the ones we already have. Just pause and reflect. What system could protect your creative space? What reminder could protect your future self? Moving forward, let's talk about creating a push system that not only help breaking procrastination, but that builds relationship. We often think of pushing ourselves as something we must do alone. But what if pushing forward did not just help us get things done? What if it also helped us grow closer to the people in our lives? When we involve family or friends or even children in our goals, something shifts. It stops being about pressure and starts becoming about shared movements. A shared goal creates conversation. It creates check-ins. It creates moments of encouragement. A parent studying alongside a child teaches patience and focus. Friends checking in on habits together create accountability that feels like care. Siblings motivating each other show the power of gentle support. Partners reminding each other cultivate trust and celebration. Including children is especially powerful. It teaches them how to make a system. They learn to break big tasks into smaller steps. They learn to plan, track, and reflect, skills that last a lifetime. And they learn that progress is about effort, not perfection. Research shows that children who practice structured goal setting and shared accountability are more likely to develop self-discipline and follow through as adults. So the bonus of setting a push system is not just progress, the bonus is connection. A shared goal creates conversation, it creates checklists, it creates moments of encouragement. And when goals are shared, accountability feels like care, reminders feel like love, progress feels like celebration. You're not just asking, did you do the thing? You're asking, how are you doing it? And that question builds trust, connection, and life skills for both adults and children alike. So now pause and reflect. Who in your life could you share a small goal with? How could you involve a child in creating a small system? How can progress become something you celebrate together instead of carrying alone? Now, let's talk about how to protect your time so that momentum does not vanish and procrastination does not sneak back in. Prioritize the vital few. Not everything is equally important. Every morning, ask yourself, what 1 to 4 or 5 things today must move forward instead of being postponed to tomorrow? Which task can wait without guilt? The key is not to do more things, but to do the right things. Often hides in the less important tasks, the small things we keep saying, okay, we'll do tomorrow. Prioritizing ensures the tomorrow trap does not take over your day. Block your focus. Give yourself protected blocks of time, even 20 to 60 minutes of undisturbed focus is better than endless multitasking. Put your phone on silent. Close unnecessary tabs in your browser. Let the world wait while you push your hour. Think of these focus blocks as your anti-procrastination zones, small islands where nothing can push your work into tomorrow. Set micro steps and mini timers. Big tasks often feel overwhelming, and that's exactly when procrastination creeps in. Break tasks into tiny steps. Set a timer for 15 to 25 minutes and just start. Sometimes starting is 90% of the battle. Once you push the first small step, momentum grows and tomorrow feels less necessary. Always review and adjust. At the end of the day or week, ask yourself, did my push work or did procrastination sneak back? What slowed me down? How can I protect tomorrow better so it does not swallow today? Time management is not about rigid schedules. It's about creating space for what matters and keeping procrastination at bay. So just ask yourself which 3 things today deserve your push. How can you protect an hour for yourself without guilt? Where is procrastination trying to slip back into your day, and how can you catch it early? Now, let's notice something crucial, that progress doesn't have to be grand to matter. Even the smallest steps count. Even a single 20-minute focus block. Even a tiny sketch in your digital art space. Even completing a single email you were postponing. As it is said, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Procrastination loves to make small steps feel invisible. It whispers, it's not enough. It doesn't count. Do more tomorrow. But every little push builds momentum. Every micro step teaches your mind, I can start, I can continue, I can finish. Including children in small wins is important. If you involve your children, you're not just teaching them tasks, you are teaching them how to build systems, how to focus, and how to create progress without pressure. Let them check off a small task that completed. Let them see you take a tiny step and acknowledge it. Model that imperfect effort is better than delayed perfection. As Aristotle said, what we repeatedly do, children learn to do. Excellence is not an act, it's a habit. So just ask yourself, what small win today can you celebrate, even if it feels minor? How can you make these micro moments visible, both for yourself and for others around you? How can noticing tiny wins slowly erase procrastination? Remember, the journey of breaking procrastination is not about heroic leaps. It's about repeated gentle pushes, small wins, and recognizing your progress along the way. One step, one push, 1 hour. Each small win is a brick in the foundation of your momentum. We often wish for more than 24 hours, but maybe what we really need is less pressure inside the hours we already have. Tomorrow never comes because it quietly turns into today. You do not need to become a new person. You need to push a moment, push an hour, push a day repeatedly. 6 years later, I understand the promise I made during lockdown did not fail. It just needed structure. And maybe yours does too. You're not behind, you're building. Becoming is not dramatic, it is scheduled. Thank you for listening, my gentle listeners. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be present and value the power of now.
Subscribe now to Reflections, to dabble with Naddy the Nerd.